tree wood. What I love about all these numbers is they're all very consistent. Welcome back everyone. I have a fun one to show you today. So basically I'm recording what's in the bag and how far each club goes. So a lot of people ask me, because I'm smaller in stature, what modifications do you have to your clubs? What clubs do you use and how different are they for you because you're that wee bit different? In fact, not very different, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Yes, so I'm going to start off with the putter, the Spider X Copper. Probably one of the most consistent putters I ever used. Since joining with Taylormade, I've recently come into a world of knowledge with golf clubs and what different specs suit you. And most importantly for me was, I never had my putter flattened before. So when I putted, I had a massive arc in my putter, and the guys at Taylormade flattened it 2 degrees, and now every putt sits square and looks really, really good. What's different about this also, standard length of a putter is about 36 inches. I have this at 32. I get it between 30 and 32, really depending on how wary my putting goes. I like fiddling around with lengths to see whether I have more control with a shorter putter or not. I think that's why a lot of people on tour are using this, because it's so consistent. It's really appealing to the eye. Now I'm going to move on to the bread makers. What I love, the Taylormade Mill Grind 2 wedges. These are my most 3 favourite clubs in the bag, for many reasons. My setup is a 48, a 54 and a 58. And I have a pitching wedge. A lot of people say, why a 48 and a pitching wedge? Basically, what I love about the 48, this is my 110 yardage. These wedges create a lot of spin. And I feel from that yardage, you need a lot of spin. And on the other side, my pitching wedge is set at 46 degrees. It's 2 degrees stronger than my gap wedge. 54 degree I'm going to move on to next. I did a lot of pitch and putt, as you all know, when I was young, and 54 degree was my favourite club in the bag. Always was. Used it from anywhere. Recently, I've put a 58 in the bag. Never had any wedge higher than 54, and now I really see the benefits of having a 58. Out of bunkers, off tight lies. I see you can all see the rust on the face of the wedges. What I call, these are the trusty rusties. Create and generate far more spin, and that's what I need. I was lacking spin in my game, and Taylormade obviously designed the best wedges in the game, and I love this effect of the rust. And a lot of people might like the appeal of how brown it looks. I think it looks quite well. After a while, when you're hitting it out of hopefully the middle of the club face, it'll start to have that sort of more chrome look. So my lengthwise in my wedge is kind of like a Bryson effect, all the same length. I've cut each wedge half an inch shorter than standard. People might ask, why all the same length? I love that feel. I have that sort of repetitive swing with my wedges, that I love that feel of the same length in my hands. I grip it in the same spot every time. And I feel like wedges is a control game for everyone. Then we're on to the bombers, these beauties. I'm saying every club is the best performing club in my bag, because it's the first time I've really had confidence in every part of my game, every club I really and truly love. So the tree wood, I'm using the Sim Max 15 degree. Standard length, as you can see, not much shorter than me. But what I love about this is this wee speed pocket at the back. The V-Steel speed pocket. Just makes me release through the ball quicker. It's so much more forgiving, and most importantly, it gets up in the air for me, which is what I need. Shaft wise, I'm using the Hazardous Smoke 60 gram low spin shaft. So to be honest, I don't hit this much off the tee. I really use this from fairways and also from rough. I shorten down the grip in the rough and absolutely rip through it. Swing harder and it really just flies out of the rough for me. As you can see, the new design twist face and the carbon head sim on the side, the club looks fantastic. And if it looks fantastic and feels fantastic, you're going to hit it great. Now moving on from the irons into these bad boys. The Sim Max 5 wood 18 degree. A lot of people say is 4 iron to 5 wood not a big enough gap. I don't think so, because I'm such a feel player. I really feel the yardage. If I need to hit this 180 or 220, I can do it. So I don't mind having that slight jump from 4 iron to 5 wood, and I'm going to show you the jump now. But again, what I love about this, probably the same as the 3 wood, this lovely carbon head, it sits really well at the ball. And what I was struggling with before is getting the ball up in the air with my woods. And these are lofted a wee bit more for me, so I can get the ball up a lot easier. Shaft, I'm using the Hazardous Smoke, again 60 gram low spin. Absolutely love the shaft. Have it in my 3 wood as well, and I feel it's very consistent. As I said, the same on my wedges. My swing's very repetitive and I love everything being the same. I don't like change, don't change my clubs too much. And again, standard length, no shorter than usual. Love this grip, feels this sticks quite well to the hands as well. It's the Taylormade Golf Pride grip, really nice. Such a great club. Guys, now I'm going to go on to these babies, the P790s. Each of my irons, I went with these from pitch and wedge to 4 iron. Not a major difference. As you can see here, half an inch shorter on each club. Really not big of a difference. But what I love about these is, they are a slightly chunkier iron, as you can see, but the consistency of strike and the consistency to go distance wise is second to none. I've used slightly bladier irons which weren't getting half the numbers I was getting with these, and I actually love the look of them. See this little speed pocket here? I love the look of that, and they're actually very forgiving for a higher handicapper too, so go check them out. Shaft wise, I'm using the NS Pro Steel, if you can see it there. So what's different about this shaft, it's very light. I've used graphite my whole life, and I thought I wanted to move up into a steel shaft. So Taylormade fitted me out with this lighter steel shaft, and it's performing really well. Again, same grips, Golf Pride gel grips, Tour wrap, really sticky and really good for me. So distance wise, I'm going to show you. El Big Dog, as I like to call him, the Sim Max Taylormade 10.5. This is a weapon. I've never performed better with a driver than this one here. Just the way it flies, how far it goes in the air, the consistency of the strike. I never changed much to this, but recently I got fitted for new clubs in the Belfry, which are all these, and this shaft is half an inch shorter. I used a fully length driver my whole life, and never ever change. But second, I cut down half an inch. The performance and the strike off the middle of the club face was second to none. And I'm going to keep this in the bag for a while. Again, same shaft, hazardous smoke, 60 gram, low spinning. I feel it feels really light in my hand, which is important for me. I don't want to be holding a big weight in my hand. Makes me get through the ball so much quicker. I can really rip through it, and I never hold back in my driver. That's the most important thing. I feel this is a club where everyone has to go after, and I have the confidence in the head, confidence in the shaft, that I can swing this as hard as I can and still strike it out the middle of the club face, which is important. What I love too, I have it set on just one bit of standard loft, so it makes me get the ball up in the air a bit quicker. And the great thing about this is whether you're playing in harder countries, colder countries, you can adjust how high or how low you want to hit it. In Ireland, you want to be getting the ball as high up in the air at the minute as possible. You might find it because it might be halfway under the ground, but this is a beauty. Let's see how far it goes. Yeah guys, all in all, pretty happy with how all these are gapped. I hit 10 balls each club and got an average of 10 shots. So I'm just going to call them out here. I started off with a 48 degree, so I didn't hit the 54 or the 58 because I feel that's all feel. So the 48 degree averaged 117 yards, which is about right. Pitch and wedge, 125 yards. So that's an 8-yard gap, which is okay. 9 iron, 136 yards. An 11-yard gap, happy enough. 8 iron, 151 average. That's quite a big jump. I jumped from 136 to 151, which is a 14-yard gap. Maybe need to make that 9 iron a wee bit stronger. 7 iron, another big jump, 166. Maybe the 7 iron's a wee bit too strong. Not too sure, I have to do a wee bit more testing. 6 iron, 177. So the gap between the 7 and the 6 is 10 yards, which is nearly perfect. 5 iron, again 188 yards. Another 10-yard gap, which is okay again, happy enough with. Then we go into 4 iron, which is 202, which is a 12-yard gap. So as you can see the trend, in my longer irons, the gap is nearly perfect, which I'm really happy about. So 5 wood, there's actually quite a big jump here from 4 iron to 5 wood. I talked about that earlier. My 5 wood is averaging 230 yards, which is a big enough dig, but from 202 to 230, it's a huge gap. So depending on where I'm playing, whether it's links golf, parkland golf, I might throw in a rescue that I have in the bag. So next is a 3 wood. 3 wood's going 233 yards. So there's only a 3-yard gap. So I think I need to make my 3 wood stronger or de-loft the 5 wood a little bit. Then we go on to the driver, the big dog. 260 yard average with the driver, which is not bad. So that's just a whole synopsis of how far each club goes, the performance of each club, and all in all I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't done a club testing in a few months, so to see that all my yardages are quite similar to where they were before, I'm really happy about it.